We are kicking off Season of the Force by popping over to Downtown Disney first, because this is where you can get more of the newer merch that can also be found at Galaxy's Edge. But if you're looking to save some time and get to the rides faster, then this is definitely worth the stop. These new plushies dropped just in time for Season of the Force, and there's actually quite a few to choose from to add to your buildable headband. We've got Yoda, we've got a Stormtrooper, an Ewok, who is my personal favorite because he's so fuzzy and cute, and Darth Vader for all you Siths, and of course R2-D2. You can do so many different combinations with these plushies. I can't wait to pick up a couple. And you'll find stuff for literally everyone. I love the Nike hats. It's a staple, and if you're going to be coming to Disneyland during the summertime, these will definitely come in handy. I love this baby Yoda hat. He looks so cute, like a little anime character. And I love this little baby outfit. It's the perfect little costume if you've got an infant in tow on your Disney trip and would make for amazing pictures. And I really love all the Sith merch. The colors are so bold and vibrant, and any Star Wars fan is really going to love all of it. This sweatshirt has been pretty popular, and a lot of people have been stopping to check it out, but you can't go wrong with really any of the merch. I love this Loungefly backpack, and you can't go wrong with all of the ears here at World of Disney. I might need to come back here later because I think I might need to stock up on some of my Star Wars gear because they've got some really, really cute stuff at World of Disney. So if this is going to be the only stop that you make for merch, then this is a really good one because they are constantly getting new merchandise in, and I think over the course of the next couple of weeks they're going to continue to get new merch in. So definitely keep your eyes out. Even if you don't have a park reservation, this is such a great place to stop by and still get some of that Disney magic without actually having to go inside the park. And also at Downtown Disney is Star Wars Trading Post. Now, I personally don't think it's necessary to stop here, especially if you already do have a park reservation. It's all the way on the opposite end of Downtown Disney, so it is a bit of a hike, and if it's crowded, it's definitely going to be a time suck. You're going to find most, if not all of this merch inside of Galaxy's Edge. This is really just here for those days that you don't have a park reservation and you're just hanging out at Downtown Disney. I would say skip this store unless there's something specific you're looking for, and they have it here, but that's not really likely. They're most likely going to have it at Galaxy's Edge, so just save the trip to Star Wars Trading Post for another day. When the Imagineers first started working on Galaxy's Edge or Batuu, it was right after the Lucasfilm acquisition. So Imagineers obviously are super excited. We're gonna have this amazing Star Wars land, and there's just so much that we can do with it. And so at that time, they were trying to figure out, well, what land do we wanna model Galaxy's Edge after? Bob Iger was like, well, you're gonna have to do a newer land because it has to be applicable to all the Star Wars movies, not just the older ones. The Imagineers are like, okay, cool, well, where's the script? They didn't have anything. They had a few storyboards and that was it. And so the Imagineers are like, how are we going to create this land if we don't even know what the new movies are going to be about? And so that's when they decided, okay, we want to do a land that hasn't been talked about in any of the movies and any of the shows. But when you get there, you'll definitely have a feeling that this is part of the Star Wars universe. And so that's why they settled on Batuu. You definitely get that vibe, all the aircrafts and with the markets and even the food. You definitely feel that you are on some sort of planet somewhere that maybe Luke Skywalker and his posse might have traveled to.
All recruits from Screening Post 2 entering Sector 7.
found this in my backpack. I have this postcard from this Snow White activation that they did at the Century City Mall. So they had the Seven Dwarfs Cottage just like right in front of the theater. You could take pictures with different areas of the house. I have some thoughts about the movie. Just in general, I didn't think that it was as bad as people were saying it was. On IMDb, it has a score of 1.5, which is just absolutely ridiculous. I personally think a lot of that just came from the really bad press that happened with this movie. Basically in 2021, when Rachel Zegler, the main actress, was casted as Snow White, she made some comments to the media.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird. So we didn't do that this time.
No.
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story just because like we cast a guy in the movie.
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
If you're a Disney fan, then you know that Snow White is an animated feature. It's the whole reason why Disney as a company is still here. It's the whole reason why we even still have Disneyland. Why we even have Disneyland is because Snow White did so well in 1937. If it didn't, the entire company would have tanked. Like, Walt put all of the money into making Snow White because it was the first time, sorry, ships flying by. It was the first time that Disney had ever created something like that. And so there's a lot that needs to be said about how pivotal that movie was in Disney's history. And she just came off in interviews as someone who like really didn't understand the brand, also did not understand the fans at all, because if she did, I don't think she ever would have said anything about Snow White. She would have been a little bit more gracious. Emma Watson and Lily James. In interviews, you could really tell that they are so thankful that they even got the chance to play princesses, and they're now going to go down in history as Disney princesses. And you really didn't get that from Rachel Zegler. She just came off as very entitled, very spoiled, and like Disney was lucky to have her. I mean, yeah, she's super talented, that's no doubt. She's a great singer, but there's a lot of really great singers and good-looking people in Hollywood, and I think they could have easily casted somebody else. I really think that they should have casted Selena Gomez. I think she would have been amazing as Snow White. She's very, very sweet, comes off as very princess-like in interviews, and she's very likable and also a fantastic singer. I think that that was a huge miss, and I honestly think that if they had done a better job of casting, the movie would not have performed as poorly as it did. And also, you're coming into this scenario where most people don't really care for remakes to begin with. Fans have been very vocal about that, like, you know, we don't want any more remakes, like, please stop touching our classic movies, give us a new script, give us a new story, and I think we'll be a lot more receptive to that. So Disney's already walking in to this lion's den of Disney fans that don't want the remakes anyway. And so now you're gonna make a remake of the most iconic movie in history with an actress that is basically throwing a ton of shade at it. It was a recipe for disaster from the beginning, and I think that it was truly the perfect storm. A lot of what could have gone wrong went wrong, and I do hope that this is kind of like a wake-up call to Disney and make them rethink their entire strategy for doing remakes. And that's why they have put a pause on Tangled, because they were going to be doing a remake on Tangled, but they decided to put that on pause, probably because they were like, we need to be a little bit more strategic about this, and we can't just hire anybody, even if they are a really good singer. We need to be a little bit more strategic about our PR as well. And I think that was a total miss. I don't know if Rachel did have a PR manager who was telling her what to say or what not to say, but it sounded like she went completely rogue and she just said whatever she wanted. So yeah, I hope that it was just like a big learning for Disney, and I hope that going forward, if they do decide to continue to make remakes, that there's a lot more heart put into it, because I think that they were really just banking on the nostalgia. So you're basically banking on the fact that you can just tap into our hearts. So okay, F you for that. And two, it was just a big cash grab. They were thinking like, oh, well, remakes do have performed really well. Yeah, they performed well. Alice in Wonderland performed really well back in 2010. It was executed properly because you had Tim Burton directing the movie. Pixar movies do great. Last year, Inside Out 2 blew the top off of box office records. So it's not that Disney is incapable of making good movies. That's like not the issue at all. It's that whoever is in charge of doing these remakes, if it is like one person, they need to change their strategy. 100%. And so I fully support Disney deciding to kind of table tangled until they have like a better go forward strategy, because I don't think they can afford to make another big mistake like this, because even though Inside Out 2 did as well as it did last year, it kind of gets canceled out because of how poorly Snow White did this year. So it's kind of like, yeah, you have the potential to do really good stuff, but you also have the potential to do really bad stuff. You can't have everybody everywhere all at once. You are gonna have to choose a lane. Choose a side and stick to that. And that's my 2 cents about the Snow White movie.
And the napkins, straws, just gonna be, you already did it. It's already went through. Yeah, is it on the app?
I am so hungry right now, but I also feel like I really blend into Batu really well today. What do you guys think of my little Ewok ears and my Ewok inspired outfit? This was actually supposed to be white, but I literally got makeup all over it right before I left my house. And I was like, this is why I don't wear white. Here we have the Felucian garden spread, which is 3 pieces of pita bread. And it looks like it's a vegetarian falafel or a kefta. It looks like we have a little pico de gallo kind of thing going on, mixed with tomatoes, cucumbers, and a little bit of watercress. Ooh, nice and fresh. Garden spread, great name. Okay, so, oh my god, it tastes like grass, but like in a good way. Do you guys ever eat greens and you're like, this tastes really green, like I'm a bunny rabbit? I always feel like that anytime I like bite into greens that are like kind of bitter. We're going to do a little bit of this. Perfect bite. That is so impressive. There's a little bit of hummus in there, which is seasoned really nicely with cilantro, a little bit of garlic, more airplanes, and a lot of really good spices. The Impossible kefta patty is seasoned really nicely too, and it's really juicy. I always get nervous with Impossible meat because I think that it can be dry if it's not prepared well, but this is prepared like perfectly. I'm actually really surprised. I'm not like really an Impossible girly, but it sounded interesting and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it today. The pita is really fluffy, chewy, exactly how pita is supposed to be, not dry at all. And I love the tomatoes and the cucumbers. It's a really nice fresh touch. I mean, garden spread is like the perfect way of describing this dish. I really, really like this and I will definitely be ordering this again. I tend to like a lot of the vegan options that they have here at Galaxy's Edge. They're really good. Like the Rontoles wrap that you can also get out here is really, really good. So even if you're not vegan, try it out. Sometimes they're really tasty. And honestly, I prefer eating vegan dishes here at Disneyland sometimes so that you don't get as full and then you can eat more stuff. This is the first time I've ever had this. So this is the Black Calf, which is arguably the most popular cold brew at Disneyland. It's very popular here at Galaxy's Edge. When I was waiting in line, almost everyone had ordered this because it's also a hot day, but it's also classic at Galaxy's Edge. So if there's something that you're kind of really wanting to try, like what's the highlight of Galaxy's Edge? I would definitely say getting a Black Calf cold brew. So it's a cold brew topped with like a sweet cream cheese foam on top with Cocoa Puffs. Cocoa Puffs is actually my very favorite cereal of all time too, so I know it's also kind of like, why have I waited so long to get this? But I don't know, I'm not like a really big coffee person anymore. So I try not to drink it if possible, but I had to try this. We're at Galaxy's Edge, we're exploring Season of the Force. We got to get into that Star Wars kind of vibe, and this is how we do it. So first move is to mix up all that sweet cream foam with the coffee. And I don't like really, really sweet coffee, so let's pray that this isn't on the super sweet side. Yo, this is a Frappuccino. I used to drink those in college all the time. Whenever I had to study for finals, I would always be drinking those. This tastes exactly like that. Those bottled Frappuccinos that you can get from Starbucks. So good. Oh my god. Probably just as much sugar too, but it's okay. We're not counting sugar today. This is so refreshing, but it's literally the Frappuccino. Honestly, I thought that it would be a little bit more
exciting than just a Frappuccino, but it's a Frappuccino with, I guess I should have gotten a spoon. Cocoa Puffs. But I've seen a lot of recipes on how to make this at home. Would you guys be interested in doing a little at-home cooking video with me? I can show you how to make this. I've never made it, but it seems like it could be pretty easy to make, and I would love to make a lower sugar version of it too. I'm really big on eating healthy. It doesn't seem like it whenever I'm here in the parks, but when I'm at home, my diet is clean and I really try to go like as low sugar as possible. So I really do think that you can make this in a low sugar way. You would have to put the Cocoa Puffs in here. But I think if you did like coconut cream with a little bit of cream cheese and then maybe a little bit of honey instead, or even, not Splenda, but what's it called? Swerve. You guys ever use Swerve? Let me tell you, Swerve or even monk fruit sweetener, you would never know that there was no sugar in it. I think in a video, we're gonna do that. I'm gonna show you how to make this. This goes another airplane.
Commander 9-1, please report back to ITS cockpit.
BB-8, is everyone assembled? Good. Shouldn't you be in flight prep? Recruits, thank you for joining the cause. A covert resistance team led by my friend Finn has infiltrated a First Order Star Destroyer that is now headed to this system. Your outpost on Batu is no longer safe. We have transports waiting to take you to General Organa's secret base on Pokhara. I'll regroup with you there. The Resistance desperately needs your help in our fight against Kylo Ren and the First Order. Remember, it is vital that you keep the location of the Pokhara base secret. Lieutenant Beck, one of our top commanders, will lead you.
Affirmative. Transport is ready. 9-1 and I shall personally see them delivered.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
All recruits to transport. No need for safety here. We'll be just fine.
This is your final call on board. I am getting a high reading on the fuel pressure. I am Lieutenant Beck. As you heard from Ray, I have been tasked with getting you to Pokhara.
Red 2, Blue 5, keep tight now. Let's get ready to make that jump to light speed on my mark.
There appear to be a number of small craft heading our way. Raise the shields.
Company, First Order TIE Fighters. Reroute! Reroute!
Star Destroyers.
Get out of there!
We can't. We're caught in the tractor beam. It's pulling us in.
I'll get some fronts and make this a fair fight.
Cargo vessel TR-141, identify yourselves and prepare to be boarded.
This is TR-141. We are a civilian vessel. By whose authority are we being detained?
By the authority of the First Order, Resistance scum. Now bring down your shields and prepare to be boarded.
They'll want the location of our secret base. Tell them nothing. The future of the Resistance is at stake. I have a bad feeling about this. Stand back from those doors.
Pretty out, let's go.
If you've never been on Rise of the Resistance before, it is definitely an experience that you are going to want. So whenever I describe it to someone who's never been on it before, it's more than just a ride, it's a full immersive experience. From the moment you get onto the ship to when you're captured, to when you escape, and the whole thing is just really a magical adventure. So if you're new to Star Wars or if you're a Star Wars fan, then it's really something that I think everyone should enjoy. The first time I went on the ride, I was super confused about what was going on. There's like this droid trying to help you escape the order, and then you get into this ship, and there's just a lot going on. So that's okay, just enjoy it for what it is. It's just really beautifully done too. Like if you just take a moment to just look at the decor and look at all of the animatronics, and even like, so it's a trackless ride. So if you look down at the droid kind of moving you around, there's no tracks, and that's really, really cool to look at, especially when you're like me and you have no idea how these things work. They just work. It really is a magical experience. So I would highly recommend going on the ride, even if it is a little bit of a wait, it usually is a little bit of a wait. The ride actually broke down when I was on it today, and it took us a lot longer than I expected, but I didn't really have a plan today, so I was like, I'll just wait it out, and it's really, really worth the wait. So if you're on it, or if you're waiting in line and then the ride breaks down, then I would just try to wait it out if you can, because it's really worth it. It's worth it to go on if you've never been on it before. It's an experience every single time, and you're gonna notice something different every single time you go on the ride, and it's just such a great thing to do when you're here at Galaxy's Edge.
What you're doing. I'm on it. Sorry, no. Here we go.
We are sitting right outside of Ronto Roasters, enjoying this beautiful golden hour. I mean, can you check out this backlight? It's hot. So there's a cheese skewer that's been really popular during Season of the Force this year. I can't pronounce the name, so here you go. If you've ever had that cheese bread at Brazilian steakhouses, that's exactly what this tastes like. And the outer crust is chopped up French fries, tossed in a batter, and then deep fried again. This is such a delicious snack, and with the mustard cheese dipping sauce, it is truly an iconic snack to try while you're here for Season of the Force. It's definitely a showstopper, and it's really delicious when you just need a little snack in the middle of the park. This is where I leave you guys. So the Season of the Force is going on from now all the way until the second week of May. So it doesn't end on May the 4th. It's definitely going to be a really big weekend here at Disneyland, but there's still going to be a lot of Star Wars events going on all the way until the second week of May. So Star Wars Night is going to be going on as well throughout the weeks. So if you've been able to snag some tickets, then maybe I'll see you there. I'll be there later this week. And so that's going to be a separately ticketed event. So you would have to get a reservation at the park during the day, and then you'd have to get a ticket for that as well. So it's two totally different things, a lot of different food, a lot of different types of activations and characters that are going to be around that night. And yeah, a lot of really fun stuff going on for Season of the Force. So make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done that. It was so fun hanging out with you guys, and I will see you all in the next one.